Hey everyone, welcome back. Have you ever finished a conversation feeling totally zapped of energy, or maybe even a little frustrated? We've all been there. Maybe it's a friend who can't seem to stop complaining, a family member who always has a critical eye, or a coworker who thrives on gossip and drama. These are the classic, toxic people, folks whose negativity can leave us feeling drained and throw our whole inner peace into disarray. But hey, there's good news. There's a way to navigate these tricky relationships with strength and composure. In this video, we're going to be diving deep into the wisdom of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that was actually championed by a Roman emperor. Yep, you read that right. We're talking about Marcus Aurelius himself. Stoicism teaches us powerful tools for fortifying our minds and managing our emotions, even when we're surrounded by negativity. By tapping into these Stoic principles, we're going to uncover 11 smart strategies for dealing with those toxic people in your life. We'll talk about building emotional resilience, setting healthy boundaries, because let's be honest, sometimes we all need a little more space, and even practicing empathy. Yes, even for those who might seem like they don't deserve it. We'll also explore techniques for self-care, develop assertive communication skills, and discover how to find support networks to help you along the way. So, whether you're dealing with a difficult coworker, a critical family member, or a friend who just brings you down, this video is here to equip you with the tools you need to protect your inner peace. We're going to learn how to navigate these challenging relationships with grace and resilience. Let's embark on this journey together and discover how Stoicism can totally transform the way you handle the toxic people in your life. 1. Stoic serenity. Master your emotions instead of stoic calm. Picture yourself standing tall as a lighthouse amidst a turbulent sea, steadfast and unyielding. Despite the relentless onslaught of negative waves crashing against your shore, you remain a beacon of unwavering tranquility. This is the essence of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that empowers you to take charge of your emotions, especially when confronted by the tempestuous storms stirred up by toxic individuals. Toxic people, those who thrive on spreading negativity and drama, have a knack for disturbing your inner peace with their words and actions. However, by embracing Stoic principles, you can cultivate the emotional resilience needed to shield yourself from their harmful influence. Central to this philosophy is the concept of recognizing what you can control versus what you cannot. While you cannot dictate the behavior of others any more than you can control the weather, you do possess complete sovereignty over your own reactions, thoughts, and interpretations of events. When confronted by a toxic person, a Stoic acknowledges the situation for what it is, an unpleasant encounter that falls beyond their sphere of influence. This realization enables a composed response, untainted by the emotional manipulation often attempted by toxic individuals. It's akin to stepping off a roller coaster before the ride begins, acknowledging its existence while choosing not to partake in its tumultuous journey. Another cornerstone of Stoic philosophy lies in perspective. Often, the negativity exhibited by toxic individuals stems from their own internal struggles, be it deep-seated insecurities or unresolved issues. By nurturing compassion, you can view their behavior through a lens of understanding. This doesn't mean condoning their actions, but rather recognizing them as symptoms of underlying turmoil. This shift in perspective enables you to separate the individual from their negativity, fostering a calmer and more objective response. Visualize them as a passing storm cloud, observing from a distance with empathy, rather than being swept up in their destructive path. Let's discover this example. The wind howled like a banshee, whipping sand across the desolate plains. Gaius, a weathered Roman soldier stationed at the remote frontier outpost of Fort Axia, tightened his cloak against the biting cold. Beside him, his young companion, Marcus, shivered uncontrollably. "Generales," Marcus stammered, his voice barely audible over the wind. "Are you sure it's wise to venture out in this storm?" Gaius, his face etched with the lines of a man who had seen too much, remained stoic. Duty calls, young Marcus. The nomads are restless, and a scouting patrol is essential. Marcus, new to the harsh realities of frontier life, couldn't comprehend the generales' calmness. Back in Rome, storms were inconveniences, not harbingers of danger. Here, amidst the unforgiving elements and unpredictable nomads, fear was a constant companion. Their journey was arduous. The wind, a relentless adversary, threatened to topple them, and the biting sand stung their exposed skin. Doubt not at Marcus. Were they foolish to venture out? Was the generales, usually so stoic, simply numb to the danger? Suddenly, a figure emerged from the swirling sandstorm. A lone nomad, his face obscured by a ragged hood, brandished a curved knife. Marcus's heart hammered in his chest. This was it. This was how their ill-fated mission would end. But Gaius remained unfazed. He held up his hand, a gesture of peace, and spoke in the rough tongue of the nomads. The figure hesitated, the glint of the knife momentarily wavering. Then, to Marcus's astonishment, the nomad sheathed his weapon and nodded curtly. He says a storm is brewing in the east, Gaius explained, his voice calm despite the near-death experience. A larger nomad force is gathering. We must return to the fort and warn the others. Back at the fort, Marcus looked at Gaius with newfound respect. Generales, how did you know what to say to the nomad? How did you stay so calm during the storm and when faced with that knife? Gaius smiled faintly. My young friend, these are the lessons of Stoicism. We cannot control the weather, the actions of others, or the whims of fate, but we can control our own reactions. Fear clouds judgment, leading to rash decisions. By maintaining my composure, I was able to communicate with the nomad and de-escalate the situation. Marcus pondered this. It wasn't about ignoring emotions, but about understanding them and not letting them dictate his actions. Just like the storm, fear was a force of nature, but it didn't have to control him. The days that followed were a blur of preparations. The fort buzzed with activity as they readied for the impending nomad attack. But amidst the anxiety, Marcus noticed a change within himself. He practiced the stoic breathing techniques Gaius taught him, focusing on the present moment rather than dwelling on the what-ifs. When the nomads finally arrived, a dark wave of warriors on horseback, Marcus felt a surge of adrenaline, but not crippling fear. He fought with courage and discipline, his movements guided by a newfound clarity. The battle was fierce, but ultimately, the fort held. Later, as they surveyed the battlefield, Marcus approached Gaius. "Thank you," he said, "for teaching me the lessons of Stoicism. It wasn't easy, but I managed to keep my head clear during the battle." Gaius smiled. "You did well, Marcus. Remember, the journey to stoic calmness is a lifelong pursuit. But by staying present, understanding what you can control, and acting with virtue, you can weather any storm, both literal and metaphorical." From that day on, Marcus carried the teachings of Stoicism with him. He learned that true strength lay not in the absence of fear, but in the ability to control his emotions and act with purpose, becoming an unyielding rock in the face of life's storms. Stoicism also advocates for living in the present moment. Toxic people tend to dwell on past grievances or catastrophize about the future, dragging others into their emotional whirlpool. By anchoring yourself in the present, you can avoid being swept away by their currents. Practices such as mindfulness meditation and deep breathing exercises serve as powerful tools for achieving this state of present moment awareness. By focusing on your breath and bodily sensations, you detach from the negativity and reclaim control over your emotional state. Picture yourself navigating a rushing river. By concentrating on your steady paddling, you navigate the current without succumbing to its force. Lastly, Stoicism extols the virtues of leading a virtuous life, one characterized by integrity, fairness, and courage. When confronted by a toxic individual, a Stoic response is guided by these principles. It may entail setting clear boundaries, calmly communicating your needs, or simply removing yourself from the situation entirely. By acting virtuously, you exemplify your inner strength and serenity, refusing to be dragged down to the level of the toxic person. It's akin to exuding an aura of calm confidence, a shield that deflects their negativity like sunlight bouncing off a mirror. 2. The power of no. Set boundaries to protect your energy instead of the art of saying no. In our quest for inner peace of Stoic philosophy, there exists a poignant proverb that resonates deeply with the human experience. No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have, and to cheerfully put to good use what they do have. This proverb serves as a gentle yet profound reminder that our inner peace is not contingent upon possessing every material desire. Rather, it calls us to find contentment in what we already possess, and to make the most of those blessings. Stoicism, with its focus on what lies within our control, shines brightly through this timeless wisdom. At its core, recognize the boundary between what we can influence and what is beyond our reach, a fundamental concept in Stoic philosophy known as the dichotomy of control. It encourages us to direct our energy towards what we can shape, our thoughts, actions, and responses, rather than becoming consumed by external circumstances beyond our control. This shift in perspective liberates us, granting us the resilience and grace to navigate life's challenges with steadfast determination. Embedded within this proverb is a profound sense of self-respect and empowerment. It calls us to acknowledge our agency, the power we wield to sculpt our own destinies, and to exercise it judiciously. Saying no to demands or desires that compromise our well-being or values is not merely about setting boundaries. It is an assertion of self-mastery. It affirms that our peace of mind and integrity are non-negotiable, and by embracing this mindset, we pave the way towards a more fulfilling and virtuous existence. Indeed, the art of saying no is a simple yet profoundly important skill, often overlooked amidst the hustle and bustle of daily life. As Marcus Aurelius, the revered Stoic philosopher, emphasized, true freedom stems from mastering our internal world, irrespective of external circumstances. Stoicism teaches us to safeguard our virtues, mental resilience, and time against those who would seek to exploit or diminish them. Imagine the process of sculpting marble, carefully chiseling away the excess to reveal the exquisite form within. Similarly, we must delicately decline requests that threaten to drain our energy and compromise our boundaries. Toxic individuals, akin to unrefined marble, can erode our inner peace with their negativity and manipulation. Saying no to such influences is not a rejection but a vital act of self-preservation. It allows us to reclaim authority over our time and energy, essential resources for nurturing Stoic virtues such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Consider the archetype of a Stoic leader, not beholden to every demand but discerning in their choices, guided by reason and virtue. By scrutinizing each request against their overarching purpose, they evade entanglements with toxic influences seeking to burden them with trivial matters or emotional manipulation. This enables them to focus on what truly matters, leading with wisdom and righteousness for the greater good. Moreover, Stoicism underscores the importance of self-reliance. While we cannot control the actions of others, we retain sovereignty over our responses. Toxic individuals may attempt to manipulate us through guilt-tripping or emotional coercion, but by calmly uttering no, we demonstrate emotional composure, a hallmark of Stoic virtue. We refuse to be swayed by their tactics, opting instead for a response grounded in rationale and self-respect. This erects a clear boundary, signaling that we will not be mere pawns in their emotional games. It is crucial not to equate saying no with weakness. True strength lies in acknowledging our limitations and safeguarding our well-being. By mastering the art of refusal, we stride closer to Stoic tranquility. No longer are we victims of circumstance or the whims of others. Rather, we emerge as architects of our destinies, empowered to pursue what enriches us and cultivate the virtues that lead to a flourishing existence. As Epictetus aptly summarized, it's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it. Another profound Stoic proverb that echoes the theme of prioritizing inner peace and resilience is, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This proverb encapsulates the Stoic belief in the power of our perceptions and attitudes to shape our experiences and overall well-being. At its core, it reveals a profound truth. Our happiness is not dictated by external circumstances, but by the way we interpret and respond to them. Stoicism teaches us that we possess the capacity to choose our thoughts, regardless of the challenges we encounter. By cultivating a mindset characterized by optimism, gratitude, and resilience, we can navigate life's vicissitudes with equanimity and joy. True happiness and fulfillment stem from cultivating inner virtues, such as wisdom and temperance. It reminds us that genuine contentment is not found in material wealth or status, but in the quality of our thoughts and the depth of our character. Thus, it urges us to prioritize the development of a virtuous inner life, recognizing that true peace and fulfillment emanate from within. In practical terms, embracing this Stoic wisdom entails actively engaging in practices that foster a positive and resilient mindset, such as mindfulness meditation, journaling, and philosophical reflection. By consciously choosing to focus on thoughts that uplift and empower us, we can cultivate a profound sense of inner peace and well-being, irrespective of external circumstances. In this way, the proverb serves as a timeless reminder of the transformative power of our thoughts in shaping the quality of our lives. 3. The unphased response. Deflect negativity with neutrality instead of the gray rock method. You find yourself swept up in the buoyant current of a lively gathering, a symposium, perhaps, or a collegium filled with the animated exchange of ideas and the easy camaraderie of friends. Laughter ripples through the air, punctuated by the clinking of goblets and the satisfying sizzle of roasting meat. Suddenly, the flow is disrupted by a discordant note. A fellow guest, their brow furrowed and voice laced with discontent, launches into a tirade of negativity, a litany of woes that threatens to cast a shadow over the entire affair. The primal urge, the one whispering in your ear like a sly messenger, is to retreat, to become a social chameleon, blending seamlessly into the background in the hope of avoiding the deluge of despondency. This, after all, is a familiar scenario, one we've all encountered at some point in the bustling theater of life. But Stoicism, that philosophy woven from threads of reason, virtue, and unwavering self-control, proposes a different approach, one that defies the instinctual urge to withdraw. Remember the Stoic concept of amor fati, a love of fate. This doesn't imply passive acceptance, but rather a recognition that external events, like the negativity spewing from a disgruntled guest, are ultimately beyond our control. Our focus, according to Stoicism, should lie within, on the judgments we make, the thoughts we cultivate, and the way we choose to react. By withdrawing entirely, we cede control over our own emotional landscape, allowing the negativity of others to dictate our internal state. Think of it like this. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher and former slave, used the metaphor of a dog barking at you in the marketplace. You can't control the dog's barking, but you can control whether or not you let it upset you. Similarly, you can't control the negativity emanating from your fellow guest, but you can control how you choose to respond. Stoicism cultivates the strength to choose how we react, not to simply avoid the situation altogether. Social engagement and fulfilling one's duties to others are core tenets of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor deeply influenced by Stoicism, believed that social responsibility was a key aspect of a virtuous life. While Stoicism encourages setting boundaries with negativity, complete emotional withdrawal hinders the ability to connect with others in a genuine way. By engaging with others, even those who may be challenging, we practice compassion and understanding, key Stoic virtues. This doesn't mean becoming a doormat for negativity, but rather approaching interactions with a calm and collected demeanor that discourages negativity in the long run. Ultimately, Stoicism offers a more empowering approach to dealing with negativity than emotional withdrawal. It teaches us to build a strong internal foundation, one based on reason, virtue, and the ability to control our own reactions. With this foundation, we can navigate the social world with authenticity, setting boundaries with negativity while still fostering genuine connections. There might be times where a strategic retreat, a temporary emotional distance, is necessary. But true Stoic strength lies not in becoming a master of disinterest, but in cultivating the resilience to navigate negativity with grace and wisdom. We become the unwavering resolve of a lighthouse amidst a stormy sea, guiding the way for ourselves and perhaps even for those lost in the tempest of their own negativity. 4. Express yourself clearly. I statements for healthy communication instead of use I statements. In the tumultuous landscape of interpersonal communication, the accusatory you statement acts as a minefield prone to detonating misunderstandings and escalating conflicts. Picture a verbal battleground where one side hurls accusations like, "You never listen," only to be met with a retaliatory volley of, "You're always so inconsiderate." This blame game, a labyrinth of recriminations, breeds resentment and effectively barricades any avenue for constructive dialogue. Yet, amidst this chaotic terrain, Stoicism emerges as a guiding light, offering a compass in the form of the empathetic I statement to navigate these emotional storms. Epictetus, the luminary of Stoic philosophy who ascended from the depths of slavery, imparts timeless wisdom. Man is not worried by events, but by his view of events. In stark contrast, you statements fixate on external events, the missed deadline of a colleague, the forgotten promise of a friend, and the perceived shortcomings of others, their alleged laziness or unreliability. These elements lie beyond our control, akin to the capricious currents of a river. True growth and progress, however, stem from mastering our own vessel, our thoughts and reactions, rather than casting blame on the erratic flow of external circumstances. Like Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, dipped his pen in the inkwell. The weight of the empire pressed heavily on him, yet his brow remained furrowed in contemplation, not worry. His mind wasn't on the battlefield victories or the whispers of political intrigue, but on a far more personal battleground, communication with his son, Commodus. Commodus, a young man brimming with potential, was also a cauldron of simmering frustrations. He chafed under his father's tutelage, yearning for independence and recognition. Their recent interactions had been strained, laced with passive-aggressive jabs and unspoken resentments. As Marcus pondered the upcoming council meeting where Commodus would be formally introduced, a familiar quote echoed in his mind. "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." He knew a fiery you statement accusing Commodus of disrespect or impatience would only deepen the chasm between them. Drawing on the wisdom of Stoicism, Marcus crafted a letter, a bridge he hoped would span the emotional divide. He avoided accusatory language, the you that would ignite a defensive response. Instead, he focused on I, his own feelings and observations. He wrote of his unwavering love for Commodus, his pride in his son's strength and intelligence, He acknowledged his own shortcomings as a father, the long hours spent tending to the empire leaving little time for personal connection. He expressed his hope for Commodus to learn from his mistakes, to embrace the power of reason and self-control, the very tenets that had guided Marcus throughout his life. The letter was a heartfelt exploration of his own vulnerabilities, a testament to his love and his desire for a harmonious relationship. It wasn't a lecture or a reprimand, but an invitation to understanding. When Commodus received the letter, his initial annoyance at being talked down to melted away as he absorbed the depth of his father's emotions. He saw, not an emperor, but a man yearning for connection, a father worried about his son's future. The council meeting that followed was a stark contrast to what Marcus had anticipated. Commodus, his demeanor more respectful, addressed the assembled dignitaries with a newfound sense of purpose. He echoed his father's principles of reason and duty, showcasing a maturity that surprised many. Later, in private, father and son spoke openly, the I statements in the letter creating a safe space for genuine conversation. Differences remained, but a bridge had been built, a testament to the power of clear and honest communication. This exchange between Marcus and Commodus is a microcosm of the Stoic approach to challenging relationships. By focusing on I statements, by acknowledging your own feelings and needs rather than assigning blame, you create an environment where true understanding and connection can flourish. It's a lesson not just for emperors and their heirs, but for anyone navigating the complexities of human interaction. In the tempestuous sea of emotions, I statements serve as a life raft, guiding us towards calmer waters and fostering stronger bonds. Consider the plight of a student grappling with a group project. A frustrated outburst of, "You haven't done anything," erects an insurmountable barrier to progress. Instead, channel the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic sage and Roman emperor, who exhorted, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." An I statement, serving as a bridge for collaboration, might gently express concern, "Feeling overwhelmed by the workload since I've completed my part. Would you be able to contribute yours?" This approach calmly articulates your perspective, extending a lifeline to your teammate while reminding them of their shared responsibility and inviting a collaborative solution. Reflect on the allegory of the dog and the shadow from Stoic teachings. Like the dog, ensnared by its inescapable shadow, chasing blame with "you" statements only tightens the grip of negativity. In contrast, I statements serve as a beacon, guiding us towards calmer waters. They shift the focus from external circumstances, a cluttered apartment, a broken promise, to our internal realm, where we hold sway over our thoughts and emotions. As Seneca, another towering figure of Stoicism, professed, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient." I statements empower us to address the present with clarity of mind and tranquility of heart. When a storm cloud of blame looms on the horizon, take a deep breath and embrace the I statement. Though it may lack the fiery intensity of its accusatory counterpart, its potency in fostering open communication and resolving conflicts is profound. Remember, mastering our reactions is fundamental to Stoic philosophy, and I statements serve as a potent tool in achieving that mastery. With this approach, we transform from passengers at the mercy of the storm into captains, navigating life's challenges with poise and wisdom. 5. Choose your battles wisely. When silence speaks volumes, instead of don't engage in pointless arguments. The human desire to emerge victorious in a verbal clash is undeniable. We relish the intellectual joust, the satisfying dismantling of an opponent's logic with a well-crafted rebuttal. Yet, within the rich tapestry of philosophical thought, Stoicism emerges as a beacon of reason and emotional control, offering a starkly different perspective. It posits that sometimes the most potent response to a toxic situation isn't a fiery retort, but rather a strategic silence. This isn't an act of cowardice. It's a display of emotional mastery and a calculated maneuver in navigating challenging interactions. Delve into the historical context of Stoicism, and you'll find its roots intertwined with the fabric of the Roman Empire, a crucible of power struggles and political intrigue. Picture yourself as a young advisor to a volatile emperor, constantly bombarded with emotional outbursts and illogical pronouncements. In such a precarious scenario, engaging in a tit-for-tat argument would be akin to hurling oneself into a gladiatorial arena without armor. However, silence, like a shield of resilience, allows you to assume the role of the proverbial fly on the wall, observing the situation with a detached calmness. As the Stoic proverb wisely reminds us, a fisherman does not control the fish. He only controls the cast of his line. You can't dictate the emperor's emotional state, but you retain mastery over your own reaction. Opting for silence enables you to redirect your energy towards formulating a well-reasoned response when the emotional tempest eventually subsides. Reflect on the legendary Roman emperor and Stoic luminary, Marcus Aurelius, whose personal reflections, the Meditations, serve as a timeless reservoir of wisdom. He famously championed the virtue of discernment, urging, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Engaging in every negativity hurled your way merely detracts from your own integrity. Choosing silence allows you to embody Stoic ideals of reason and emotional control, demonstrating true inner fortitude without succumbing to the theatrics of a fruitless argument. Imagine a toxic interaction as a raging storm at sea. Shouting over the wind achieves little. It merely adds to the cacophony. However, a skilled sailor navigates the tempest by understanding the currents and deftly adjusting their sails. In this metaphor, silence becomes the art of reading the emotional currents. By opting not to engage, you sidestep being swept away by the emotional turbulence. This grants you the clarity to assess the situation calmly and formulate a response that addresses the root cause, not just the immediate outburst. As Seneca, another towering figure in Stoicism, eloquently penned, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient." Silence empowers you to savor the present moment, free from the emotional turmoil that often accompanies toxic interactions. The Stoics fervently believed in the concept of amor fati, a love of fate. This principle extends to situations beyond our control, including the actions and words of others. The individual you're grappling with may possess an inherently argumentative nature, or their perspective may be so deeply entrenched that reasoning won't sway it. Accepting this reality, that you can't alter them, is paramount. Engaging in a pointless argument only serves to fuel your frustration and reinforce your sense of powerlessness. Opting for silence, however, acknowledges the situation for what it is and empowers you to focus on your own actions and reactions. As Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who ascended from slavery to philosophical renown, profoundly stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." Silence grants you the agency to choose your response, liberating you from the cycle of negativity and allowing you to prioritize your own well-being. Choosing silence isn't synonymous with weakness or cowardice. It's a testament to emotional control and a strategic maneuver in navigating turbulent waters. By prioritizing peace of mind and focusing on what lies within your sphere of influence, you emerge from the fray stronger and more composed. Remember, even the most toxic individuals can't dictate your emotional state with their words. Silence empowers you to dictate your response, a fundamental tenet of Stoicism. This approach enables you to become the master of your own reactions, a philosophy that has guided Roman emperors, advisors, and countless others throughout the annals of history. 6. Unwavering self-worth. Their words don't define you, instead of stoic indifference. We've all found ourselves in those sticky situations, trapped in conversations with individuals who seem to emanate negativity. Their words feel like emotional grenades, strategically lobbed to chip away at our self-esteem and leave us feeling utterly deflated. But amidst this onslaught, Stoicism offers a potent countermeasure: indifference. Not the indifferent shrug of apathy, but a strategic form of emotional judo. It's about understanding their tactics and refusing to be their emotional punching bag. Let's dive into how this Stoic principle can empower you to navigate these tricky encounters with grace and resilience. Imagine yourself at a mandatory work event, forced into small talk with that notorious gossip from accounting. They sprinkle the conversation with veiled insults and sly jabs, hoping to elicit a reaction. Stoicism reminds us that while we can't control their behavior, we have full command over our own. Their words are like arrows, aiming to pierce our emotional armor. But by practicing Stoic indifference, we become elusive targets, deflecting their negativity with a composed demeanor and skillful subject changes. Their verbal barbs lose their potency when we refuse to stand still as their target. As the Stoic proverb wisely puts it, a ship is not safe in harbor, but on the sea. Growth and resilience come from navigating life's turbulent waters, not from cowering in safe harbors. Recall the wisdom of the legendary Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius. Stoicism's quintessential figure, he faced myriad battles, both on the battlefield and within himself. Yet, his timeless reflections in the Meditations reveal a profound understanding of emotional self-defense. He emphasizes the paramount importance of discernment. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Getting entangled in a negativity vortex with a gossip only serves to drag us down to their level. Stoic indifference allows us to embody the ideals of reason and emotional control, exhibiting true inner strength without succumbing to their tactics. Think of toxic individuals as emotional vampires, feeding off our reactions for sustenance. Stoic indifference, then, acts as garlic against these metaphorical vampires. By choosing not to engage, we deprive them of the emotional drama they crave. Picture a heated family gathering where a relative revels in stirring up conflict. Stoic indifference enables us to acknowledge their remarks, perhaps with a light-hearted quip or a swift change of subject. This disarms them because they fail to elicit the emotional response they anticipated. As Seneca, another towering figure in Stoicism, eloquently articulated, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. Stoic indifference empowers us to embrace the present moment, liberated from the emotional manipulation of toxic individuals. Remember, Stoicism isn't about transforming into cold, emotionless automatons. It's about discerning the distinction between constructive criticism and negativity masquerading as advice. It's about safeguarding our inner peace and nurturing relationships that genuinely enrich our lives. By cultivating Stoic indifference, we arm ourselves with the emotional resilience needed to navigate toxic encounters without allowing their words to define our worth. We become steadfast emotional anchors, embodying the power of self-control in the face of adversity. This revision incorporates a more conversational tone, avoids repetitive sentence structures, and adds details to make the scenarios more relatable. It also emphasizes the positive aspects of Stoic indifference, resilience, self-control, and inner peace. 7. Understanding the source, maybe empathy without entanglement, instead of recognize their pain, maybe? Envision yourself entangled in a social media debate that's devolved into personal attacks. Stoicism reminds us that self-awareness, understanding our own emotions and motivations, is crucial. This extends to considering the motivations of others. Toxic behavior often stems from deep-seated insecurities or pain. The person hurling insults might feel threatened by your success or struggle with self-doubt. This doesn't justify their actions, but understanding the why allows detachment from their negativity and a compassionate response instead of defensiveness. As the Stoic proverb goes, we are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. Recognizing their fear or insecurity enables the choice not to take their words personally, preventing further escalation. Reflect on Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic icon. Throughout his life, he faced countless battles, both external and internal. His writings, the Meditations, offer a treasure trove of wisdom on navigating difficult relationships. He emphasizes equanimity, maintaining emotional composure in adversity. Toxic people often thrive on reactions, on provoking anger or frustration. Recognizing their underlying pain enables a response with empathy, not anger. Consider a colleague who throws out snide remarks. Stoicism suggests acknowledging their need for validation, perhaps stemming from a feeling of being overlooked. With empathy, you might offer a genuine compliment or find opportunities to highlight their strengths. This disarms them as it demonstrates genuine concern for their well-being. As Epictetus, a pillar of Stoicism, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." Choosing an empathetic response breaks the cycle of negativity, navigating the situation with emotional control. Living in accordance with virtue is a cornerstone of Stoicism. This means prioritizing your own well-being and integrity, but it doesn't preclude compassion. Understanding a toxic person's pain doesn't mean giving them free rein to manipulate or belittle you. Consider a friend who constantly complains and drains your energy. Stoicism suggests recognizing their negativity might stem from a deeper dissatisfaction in their life. With empathy, you can offer a supportive ear, but also set boundaries by limiting your exposure to their negativity. You value the friendship, but you also prioritize your own emotional well-being. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Empathy allows understanding them, but Stoicism empowers maintaining control of your emotional state. That's true when recognizing the pain behind toxicity isn't about condoning their behavior. It's about cultivating empathy while maintaining a healthy distance. By practicing this nuanced approach, navigating these challenging interactions with grace and compassion becomes possible without getting sucked into the negativity. Think of it like seeing through storm clouds, acknowledging the storm, but not getting caught in the downpour. 8. Focus on your actions. Control what you can instead of detach from the outcome. Now, let's delve into the principle of focusing on our own actions and responses rather than fixating on potential outcomes. This core tenet lies at the heart of Stoicism and offers a valuable strategy for navigating interactions with toxic individuals. Marcus Aurelius, the esteemed Roman emperor and Stoic proponent, stressed the importance of directing our attention towards our own contributions, our actions and responses, rather than dwelling on the reactions of others, particularly those prone to negativity. While initially appearing counterintuitive, this approach proves to be both strategic and emotionally intelligent when managing challenging relationships. Consider a recent encounter with someone toxic. You enter the interaction with a clear mind, hoping for a constructive exchange. However, as the conversation progresses, you find yourself entangled in a web of anticipation, obsessing over potential negativity. You mentally rehearse their hypothetical responses, fueling anxiety and perhaps altering your approach. This preemptive fixation not only robs you of your peace of mind, but also has the potential to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. By anticipating a negative outcome, you inadvertently adopt a defensive or guarded stance, thereby eliciting the very response you feared. Stoicism imparts the wisdom of delineating between what falls within our control and what lies beyond it. Our actions, responses, and interpretations of situations all reside within our sphere of influence. Conversely, the reactions of others remain outside of our jurisdiction. Embracing this distinction allows us to channel our focus and energy into aspects we can directly impact. By cultivating a deliberate communication style, establishing firm boundaries, and maintaining composure, we empower ourselves to navigate interactions with greater clarity and intentionality. This approach not only safeguards our well-being but also fosters personal growth by allowing us to remain fully present and receptive to the lessons inherent in each encounter. By embracing this Stoic principle, we equip ourselves to navigate the complexities of difficult relationships with grace and resilience. 9. Protect your well-being. Limit contact or cut ties when needed, instead of limit contact or cut ties if necessary. Life has a way of blindsiding you sometimes. You might be using Stoicism's wisdom to navigate those tricky relationships, keeping your cool and detaching from the outcome. But then you encounter negativity that's like a relentless storm, a constant drain on your mental and emotional reserves. In these situations, Stoicism offers a powerful strategy for reclaiming your inner peace, building a life fortress around your well-being. Imagine this fortress. The foundation is built on prioritizing your mental wellness. Stoicism emphasizes living virtuously, aligning your thoughts and actions with reason and the natural world. A cornerstone of this virtue is self-preservation. You wouldn't choose to live in a polluted environment, so why subject yourself to relationships that erode your well-being? Toxic people, with their negativity and manipulation, create precisely that kind of environment. Limiting or eliminating contact with them isn't giving up. It's a conscious choice to strengthen the foundation of your well-being, a core tenet of Stoic virtue. The walls of this fortress are built with healthy boundaries. Healthy relationships require boundaries. By limiting or eliminating contact with toxic individuals, you communicate your self-worth and set a clear standard for how you expect to be treated. This is particularly impactful with manipulative individuals who rely on your emotional investment. Establishing healthy boundaries disrupts their tactics and sends a clear message that their behavior is unacceptable. It's like adding a layer of emotional security to your fortress. But a fortress isn't just about defense. The heart of your fortress is cultivating a positive environment. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic figure, reminds us that often the greatest remedy for our troubles is to have less to do. This philosophy extends to relationships. By minimizing negative influences, you free up significant mental and emotional space. This newfound space empowers you to curate supportive relationships, the kind that uplift and inspire you. It's a strategic allocation of your limited energy towards activities and people who fuel your growth, like carefully chosen plants flourishing within the walls of your fortress. Surrounding yourself with positive influences fosters your own development. Toxic people often stifle your potential with negativity and doubt. Prioritizing your mental wellness at the core of your fortress allows you to break free from this negativity and create space for self-discovery and personal development. You can then focus on cultivating positive character traits, pursuing your goals, and ultimately living a more fulfilling life, all core aspects of Stoic philosophy. Finally, minimizing negative influences can be an act of self-compassion. By removing yourself from their negativity, you prevent them from manipulating you or draining your energy. This might prompt them to reflect on their behavior and seek self-improvement, but that's not guaranteed. Regardless, Prioritizing your mental wellness is the key to creating a healthier dynamic, even in their absence. It's like ensuring the air within your fortress remains clean and refreshing. In essence, cultivating a positive environment, establishing healthy boundaries, prioritizing mental wellness, curating supportive relationships, and minimizing negative influences, all core concepts in Stoicism, are the building blocks of your life fortress. This approach isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about strategically allocating your energy towards creating a life that supports your well-being, a life where you can find fulfillment and inner peace within your own secure and flourishing space. 10. Self-care is essential. Nurture your mind, body, and spirit instead of prioritize self-care. When confronted with a toxic individual, consider this. Embracing self-care emerges as a potent Stoic maneuver. Marcus Aurelius, revered as a Stoic luminary and Roman emperor, would not advocate embroilment in shouting matches or emotional entanglements. Rather, he'd counsel fortifying one's inner citadel through practices nurturing the mind, body, and spirit. Picture it as erecting a robust mental and emotional bastion. The sturdier it stands, the less vulnerable you become to the toxic emanations of others. Let's delve deeper into this Stoic viewpoint. Stoicism underscores the significance of managing what falls within your realm of control, your thoughts, reactions, and personal well-being. Toxic individuals, by their very nature, exist beyond this domain. Their negativity and manipulative tendencies represent external forces beyond direct influence. Nevertheless, your response remains within your grasp. By prioritizing self-care, you foster inner tranquility and resilience, diminishing reactivity and anchoring yourself amidst the tempest of toxic energy. Moreover, self-care rituals such as meditation, physical activity, and communing with nature seamlessly align with Stoic ideals. Meditation aids in attaining clarity amidst the tumult of emotions, shielding them from hijack by external negativity. Exercise bolsters the body and uplifts mood, fostering self-assurance and a robust sense of well-being less susceptible to disruption. Nature, with its serene vistas, offers a sanctuary for reflection and rejuvenation, underscoring the impermanence of external trials and tribulations. Envision the Stoic sage as a serene beacon amidst turbulent waters, emanating calm and steadfastness. This serves as the archetype to emulate when navigating encounters with toxic individuals. By prioritizing self-care, you equip yourself to navigate these tempests with poise and equanimity. There's no compulsion to partake in their theatrics. Instead, you opt to stand resolute within your own sphere, radiating positivity and resilience. For real, self-care transcends mere preservation. It embodies empowerment. Through nurturing your well-being, you embody a beacon of positivity capable of influencing even the most entrenched negativity. Perhaps your unwavering composure and inner serenity may prompt reflection in the toxic individual. Yet, even if it doesn't, you emerge fortified and strengthened, poised to confront the challenges that lie ahead with unwavering resolve. 11. Demand respect. You deserve healthy relationships instead of remember, you deserve respect. And finally, dealing with a negative presence in your life can feel like carrying around a backpack with a leaky strap, slowly sapping your energy with every step. It's a situation that can happen to anyone, no matter how strong you are. But here's the thing. There's a whole ancient philosophy hailing from Rome that serves as a handy toolbox for navigating such tough scenarios. Imagine embarking on a long hike through unpredictable terrain. While you can't control the weather or the landscape, you do have agency over what you pack. This philosophy urges a focus on what lies within your control, your own thoughts, reactions, and choices. The negativity emanating from the other person? It's akin to an unexpected downpour. You might not halt the rain, but you can certainly don a raincoat and soldier on. Think back to Marcus Aurelius, the prominent Roman emperor and philosopher. A profound thinker ahead of his time, he championed the concept of self-respect. Just as you wouldn't tolerate someone trampling over you in the streets, why allow them to do so in your relationships? Negative individuals, with their perpetual drama, possess a knack for eroding your sense of self-worth. This philosophy essentially advocates for lightening your load for a smoother journey, whether that entails reducing interactions with such individuals or bidding them farewell altogether. Another pivotal aspect is clarity of thought. Negative individuals often blur the lines, leaving you bewildered and second-guessing yourself. This philosophy underscores the importance of stepping back and evaluating the situation objectively. It's akin to consulting a map to chart a clear path forward. By gaining insight into the origins of negativity, you can opt for an alternate route, one that leads to your own contentment. Lastly, this philosophy places great emphasis on fairness. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual reciprocity, whereas toxic ones are characterized by imbalance, with one party consistently taking more than they give. Adopting this mindset enables you to discern such disparities and sidestep the pitfalls of imbalance. Sure, it boils down to seizing control of your own happiness. This philosophy furnishes you with the requisite tools to contend with challenging individuals and make decisions conducive to your well-being. It's about surrounding yourself with positivity and uplifting influences, shedding unnecessary burdens for a more enriching journey, one marked by diminished baggage and heightened peace of mind. It's important for us to recognize that the essence of these tactics transcends mere surface-level confrontation or coercion. Rather, they represent a profound shift in mindset and approach, one that empowers us to reclaim agency over our own emotional landscapes and safeguard our well-being amidst turbulent relational waters. Reflecting upon the sage counsel of Marcus Aurelius, who famously remarked, "Our life is what our thoughts make it," honors the foundational role of cognitive agency in shaping our subjective experiences. By conscientiously selecting our thoughts and responses, we wield the power to fundamentally alter the tenor of our interactions with toxic individuals. Rather than succumbing to feelings of depletion or despair, we can adopt a stance characterized by serene equanimity and lucid discernment. This newfound resilience not only enables us to erect firm yet compassionate boundaries, but also imbues these encounters with the potential for profound personal growth and introspection. Moreover, it's imperative for us to dispel the misconception that Stoicism advocates for the suppression or negation of emotions in favor of a sterile emotional detachment. On the contrary, it champions a holistic integration of emotional awareness with a steadfast commitment to rational autonomy. Thus, when confronted with the toxic presence of another, it behooves us to acknowledge the full spectrum of our emotional responses while steadfastly refusing to allow them to dictate our course of action. In essence, Stoicism empowers us to navigate the tumultuous seas of human interaction with grace and resilience, grounded in the unwavering conviction that true mastery lies in the sovereign domain of self-possession. As we continue to immerse ourselves in the practice of these Stoic techniques, we embark upon a transformative journey towards emancipation from the shackles of negativity. With each mindful application of these principles, we cultivate a deeper reservoir of inner peace and fortitude, a reservoir from which we draw sustenance amidst the vicissitudes of interpersonal strife. Armed with this newfound sense of clarity and self-assurance, we emerge from the crucible of adversity with an enhanced capacity to navigate even the most arduous relational terrains. In closing, we extend our sincerest gratitude for accompanying us on this illuminating odyssey through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Let us heed the profound admonition that true power resides not in the subjugation of others, but in the mastery of self, a mastery that unfolds through the diligent cultivation of virtue and resilience. As we continue to traverse the labyrinthine corridors of human interaction, May we remain steadfast in our commitment to embodying the noble precepts of Stoic philosophy, thereby forging a path towards enduring inner peace and authentic self-actualization.